Well, good evening and welcome to this special edition of Island Stats Sports Talk. I'm your host, Earl Baston, and joining me are two of the Western Stars, Dandytown Hornets assistant coaches in Sion Darrow and Jerome Hayward. First of all, gentlemen, thank you very much for joining. Good night.
Yes, good evening, bro.
Okay. Well, Sion, I want to start with you because you've been a player for the Dandytown Hornets for a lifetime. It seems like now transitioning to assistant coach with most of the guys that you were playing with. How has that transition been for you?
It's been pretty seamless. It was basically I was still playing almost like an assistant coach role on the field. So when they saw it, I have no respect. They listen to me as they always did. So it's been pretty seamless. It hasn't been hard at all, to be
Yeah.
honest.
And Jerome, for you, getting to know the players, obviously coming from St. George's up to the Dandytown Hornets, getting to know the players, that for you, how has that period been? You've had the off season, now you're in the season. You guys have got 7 games under your belt in the league, plus the done leave. So how was that transition for you, Jerome?
It's been seamless, Earl. Real seamless. The players have been really welcoming. The club and the hierarchy has been really welcoming. The fans. So I'm really enjoying my time up here, and they've accepted me. So yeah, I'm really grateful to everybody involved with the club and attached to the club.
Yeah. Let me ask you both. Now you're working with Kyle Lightbourne, obviously former national coach, former coach of PHC as well. What has he brought to your game as far as the coaching aspect? What has he done to elevate your involvement in coaching?
I'll start. I think Lighty obviously has a lot of experience, but I think the thing that has impressed me the most is his ability to man manage. He understands what it means to be a player. He's a player's coach. At the same time, he has high standards that he expects to be enforced and adhered to every single training session, every single pre-game, during the game, and after the game. And so he's done a really good job of bringing the locker room together, enforcing the standards and enforcing the tactics at the same time. So it's been a really good balance.
Yeah. What about you, Sion?
It was sort of expected because Helitis coached me before national squad hogs and stuff like that. So I knew his standard, I knew how his style of coaching was. So it sort of made it easier for us to just sort of coach together because I already knew what he expects. But it's definitely a learning experience because his wealth of knowledge is very important to us. Like as younger coaches, to have a coach that we can go to and say, what you're thinking about this and thinking about that. So he's a good reference point for us.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And Jerome, you coming from St. George's, obviously as a head coach, now you're an assistant coach. How does your philosophy of delivering your message change now that you're kind of an assistant as opposed to the head guy?
Honestly, not much. When I came in, like I said, I just want you to be yourself. I was telling one of my football group chats the other day that the 3 of us think basically the same. How we want to attack, how we want to defend, how we relate to each other, how we relate to the hierarchy and to the players. So not much has had to change. Obviously, I've had to take more of a backseat because he's the head coach, he's the leader. But he encourages us to step forward, say what we're going to say, because again, we're all on the same page. We want to play the same football. And so yeah, it came together really seamlessly.
Yeah. See, on the Dudley Eve, it didn't go as planned for Dandytown. Was it that period where you guys were trying to find out who was going to be your starting 11, who was going to be the role players? Was that period?
Absolutely. We had a few coaches meetings about our goals for the season. Obviously, we want to win, but we was looking at the league as our just to get started. It's a new coach, new system. It's just to get guys minutes, see what our system's going to be. We had even played 3 different systems in throughout that tournament. So it's just a figuring out period for us to really prepare for the league.
Yeah. And Jerome, now you guys find yourself in third place with a game in hand. You could actually go into second place. Was this forecast at the beginning of the season, like you guys being in a position to battle for the title?
I mean, it's Danny Tom, so we're always in the talks for trophies. But honestly, we've just been taking it a game at a time and making sure that we're taking baby steps. I think that's something that the coach has expressed since the beginning of the season, to just take baby steps and to ensure that the steps taken were the right steps and part of the foundation, as opposed to, taking giant leaps and skipping over the important details. So we're definitely not surprised to be where we are. I think maybe we could have been a little bit higher. Some games maybe we deserved to win that we didn't. Maybe it's one or two games that we won that maybe could have been something different. But that just goes to show what Danny Tanya is, and we never say die. And the coach has really got us clicking right now. So I think we've got a ways to go, but that game in hand doesn't mean anything until you win it. So right now we're in third, and until we get the points, we'll see exactly where we are. Come Christmas time.
Yeah. Sion, let me ask you, how much of the style of Dandy Town has changed under Kyle?
I wouldn't say the style has changed much. Danny Town's always been a football playing team, so I feel like his has brought that to the table. Maybe if other teams try to play different ways, but Danny Town, we have that. Like, we are trying to entertain, so he really took that on and he's trying to get us to play a lot more football. So it's fit perfectly, and it's not really a big difference.
Yeah, I want to ask you, Sion, because you've been there the longest, about the gap in senior players to the younger players. It seems like it's a big age gap there. How do you get that closer? Because obviously when you would have started, that gap weren't that big, and now you're part of the what I call elder statesmen in the team, where a lot of guys are way beyond your younger years.
It's a difficult day for this club because we have a lot of overseas players, which will fill that gap. Like, if you see us around Christmas time, it's like an age between. It's like maybe 1 year between each player. So we're doing very well in getting our players internationally out of the island. So we just gotta keep trying to get players to come through. But the gap is big. There's nothing we can do about it. But it is what it is,
And Jerome, obviously, it's all this the club's new to you. Football, the ball, the girls, everything. The fields are marked out all the same, but it's just getting to know the personnel. Knowing some of the older guys, did you have chats with them and help them understand the role that they were going to have to play in the team under the new leadership of the coaches?
Honestly, again, that's one of the first things that we really wanted to do, was just settle the team, settle the mentality of the team, and build the team up. So the more mature players are definitely helping us out. Having Sion around is massive, because he understands the standards of Danny Town, coming through the ranks, former MVP, and then now one of the assistant coaches. So yeah, it's been a team effort. The senior players is definitely helping out. But right through the team is leadership, so that's what we're trying to emphasize for sure.
What is one of the biggest statements, Sion, for you that Dandy Town makes season after season?
You can't never count us out. Like, you can't. You ask me, maybe not playing well, but you can't come into the game and thinking it's an easy game. I feel like Danny Town's a big club in Bermuda, top club. So we always have to have that stigmatism about us, or that chip on our shoulders. So I feel like we still give off. If on any day we can still do what we got to
do. And obviously, Jerome, this weekend you go back to St. George to play. What would that be like for you? Or you play St. George's? What would that be like for you?
I'm looking forward to it. It'll be a little surreal, a little weird, I guess, but it's not my first time being back on the opposite bench. We played Parish down there not so long ago. So now I'm looking forward to it. You know, it'll be good to see some familiar faces. But yeah, we're going down there for 3 points, and hopefully we achieve that.
Yeah, yeah. What has been the difference for the team since the start of the league season? Take away the Dudley Eve. What has been the difference for the team?
Honestly, I think it's just the process of time. You know, evolution. Everything takes time, and so said, so done. As we've had more time to understand each other, the coaching staff understanding each other, the players understanding the coaches, what we want, and the coaches understanding the players. You know, it's just again just been a process of time to get us to the point where we are now. But honestly, we still have a long way to go. We're only fulfilling a small, well, definitely a minor percentage of what our potential is. So yeah, it's just been a matter of time. So the more time we have, I think the better we will get, the fitter the players will be, and the more understanding of all the moving parts, the more that will gel. So.
And for you, Sion, not being able to play at the club for the past 3 years, and it looks like another year ahead. What has that been like for you personally? Not being able to play even the other sports you help out the club there in cricket.
No, it's the transition is not easy. We say all the time like I should have been playing, or maybe I should go and play, but I trust these guys, and you know, I believe in them. So hopefully they know that, and they don't really need me to play, or I'm not looking to play. But it's hard to watch. It gets easier as the years go on, but it's harder to not play.
Yeah. And obviously, someone like DeVar, who's the head of the entire organization, but he likes to make sure that everybody is comfortable in the roles they have to play and allows them to. What does DeVar bring to Western Stars, to Dandytown?
For me personally, Boyles is a key figure in this club, in this community. Without him, we wouldn't have half the things we have, or we wouldn't be where we are. So his vision was miles ahead of everybody else's. So his really appreciated, really appreciated.
It's been amazing. Keep in mind it's just off camera, so you know we gotta say the right things. No, but definitely, that's just a little joke. But in all reality, I echo 100% what Sion said. The whole organization, starting with his leadership, has been top class, and it's a big reason why I wanted to come to Dandytown. So,
yeah. Actually, Jerome, take us through how that conversation went. I mean, you became this free agent, much publicized and the bit, and we don't have to go down that road. But how did that transition go of getting you involved at St. John's Road?
Honestly, I wasn't sure if I was going to take a year off. The last 5 years was amazing, but it was really taxing. But then a few different clubs reached out, and honestly, there's a lot of amazing programs on this island. So the future of Bermuda is in really good hands. But Aaron Jenkins called me and he said, "Listen, I want to have a meeting with you." That was the last meeting I had, and the conversation was just top class. The presentation was top class, and once they laid out what they had envisioned for myself, for the club in general, for the future of the club, the professional mindset of the club, I was sold before I left the meeting. So yeah, not to take away from any of the other clubs, any visions that they have, because they all have really good visions. But Dandytown just most closely aligned with where I was and am in my career, and at the same time where my city club going is just amazing to be around that professional environment.
Yeah. Sion, for you as a player, as a coach, as a person, there's always a team you can't wait to see when you're matched up against. For you, I'll put you first as when you were a Dandytown player. You still are a Dandytown player. So what team do you love to screw off against?
Believe it or not, well, maybe, but it's definitely no Village. Because it's always been, throughout my career, it's always been Taunton and Village, or maybe Taunton and PAC, but Village has always been in the top. So I always wanted to beat the best, So I love to play against Village.
Yeah. And Jerome, before you took your break from playing, what was that team you was always looking to play against?
That's a tough one. I mean, I had opportunities to go to other teams in my playing career in Bermuda, but I never left St. Joe. That's my hometown. So with that being said, every time we played, St. Davis was obviously, the 297 Derby. It's just across town rivalry. We're obviously old friends, and we get along well. But once it's on the field, I have relatives over there, so the week leading up to it, the banter is there, and on the field, the rivalry is high, and obviously after the game, bragging rights are whatever bar is the hidden bar. So.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. You always wanted on our side, maybe.
For sure. With that said, I always look forward to challenging myself. So playing the likes of PAC, Dannytown, Village was always, I always look forward to it. And it made me set my game up. I'm a person who loves pressure, and I play better and I think better under pressure. So to play the hierarchy teams was always a privilege. For sure.
Yeah. Now I want to flip it because I want to ask about the person you always look across to on a bench and say, I want to try and beat. Who's that coach you want to try and beat whenever you're playing that team?
I mean, humbly, I want to beat everybody.
Right.
Whether that happens or not is something different. I'm sure every coach has that approach that they, want to, if they can, they want to go through a league undefeated. That's maybe not close to reality, but that's the mentality that I have going into every game. With that said, I think a coach that I really admire has always had a challenging team, no matter who has had on the field or on the benches. Kwame Steed, I think he has a really good philosophy, and we bring out the best in each other every time we've played each other. So I really admire him. But honestly, all the coaches that I did my B license with, I look forward to seeing them just for the banter and to check up on each other. A guy I admire a lot from that trip is Ray Jennings. Him and Lottie are obviously good friends. So we all three of us catch up all the time. And I learn his tactical brain. So whenever I go up against him, I like to accept the challenge as well to see, if I can match him, because I think he's top class for sure.
Right. Sion, what about you?
I think for me, it's the younger coaches that played in my era that's coaching. So Antoine Russell, it's just about the banter. So it's about, I can't let him beat me because then I'm going to hurt by the whole game. So Corey's at Robin Hood now, but if you play Robin Hood, I can't let them beat me. So it's just about the friendship and the banter. But at the end of the day, like Jerome said, I want to be the coaches.
Yeah. Well, you guys have with a club like Dandytown. I know, Sion, you already know about the rich history of Dandytown and Jeru, you're in the process of learning more about that club. I want to wish you guys all the best under Lighty, and if need be, take the job on. Nobody coaches forever, and there's an opportunity at the door just because you guys are already inside the door now. So, good luck to Dandytown for the remainder of the season, and congratulations on helping the club, to where they are today, and hopefully even further as the season goes on.
Yes,
thank you. Appreciate you.
Okay. You guys enjoy your evening. Get to training. Thank you very much.
Have a good one.